Hello and welcome to Tuesday Talk. Tonight we are going live on Facebook and on YouTube simultaneously. So if you pop on, say hello. I'll be able to see your comments on either place. And tonight I think I don't know whether I got my thumbnail up on my video or not, meaning the little picture that shows you what the video is. And if I did, I think it's misleading. I think it says that I'm doing a sewing machine into a tabletop riser. Well, we all know we're not going to do that. It's a sewing machine drawer. So I got a couple of these, and I'm going to make over one tonight. So if you come on, say hi. So what I did so far was just clean this thing because it was super, super dirty. These are really old. I also used some dried X spackling, and I mean, it's not something that's going to get heavy use. If this was a piece of furniture, I would use something more stronger like Bondo, but in a situation like this, you can use like Dixie Mud or spackling. I just happen to have this. And this is one of those ones that turns from pink to white. So you can see when it's dry. So it's almost dry. There's just a little bit that's not. So I hope you're all doing well this evening. And, I need to check and see how our subscribers are going because, we created a new channel called Tuesday Talk. So I'm hoping very soon, every week, I hope that I can go live onto the Tuesday Talk channel. So I need 50 subscribers to go live there. So if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. So I'm going to put on this other camera and you can see, I don't want to solo. Boy, there's my dog. Okay. So you can see up in the corner here that it's still, oh boy, I'm sorry. Grizz, I'm on a live. Okay, so I'm going to take a little baby wipe. Instead of sanding it, I'm just going to kind of wipe it a little bit just to smooth it. We don't have to be perfect here. I may have to change the angle of this so you can see better. Hang on one second. Okay, that might work a little better. Okay. So yeah, just smoothing that out a little bit. Now this isn't a good angle. We'll get you there. As long as I don't knock it over. Okay. All right, so we're going to make this really pretty and feminine. So I have a couple colors and I want to mix a color and just see what we come up with. That's really not dry, but we're going to go ahead and go for it. I can already tell this piece is probably going to bleed a little bit, but we're going to go with it. I'm not going to do a primer. It's old wood. I probably should, but I'm not going to. It's crazy like that. We'll call it distressing. We are going to use Dixie Belle's Sea Glass as one of our colors. And I'm going to start that in the middle. So if you come on, just go ahead and say hi. Let me know you're here. If you're on Facebook, I can see comments on Facebook and on YouTube. And hope everybody's doing well. It's been a rainy start to summer, that's for sure. Here. So it's sunny out now, and I'm hoping it's going to stay that way. Like I said, I'm expecting a little bleed through on here. This thing's super old, and it was super dirty as well. But I did clean it. And we're just going to call it character. Hey, Cheryl. Hope you're doing well. How's things across the country? I'm just painting a riser here. Well, it's a sewing machine drawer that we're going to make a riser. And I'm going to paint the inside first and get that done. Boy, I really don't have this camera right, do I? I'm going to try to fix that. Sorry about it. That's better. A little bit. Hot. Okay. You know, it's getting a little hot here too, but I'm sure it's a little hotter where you are. And you know, I've been doing all the resin. So I have a piece of resin that's pretty big that I'm trying to get set up. So I keep avoiding putting the air conditioner on. So I'm hoping it doesn't get super hot yet. We may have gotten to 80 today, but I don't think. So, Cheryl, are you going to join us in our summer ween challenge? That one is going to be June 22nd, and that is the official date of summer ween. And if you don't know what summer ween is, I only found out this year that that's a thing. But summer ween is for people who can't wait for Halloween. So it's like Christmas in July, only it's Halloween in June. So the Flippin' Bunch is going to host a challenge, and it's a thrift flip challenge. And any YouTubers can come on and do a thrift flip, Halloween inspired. So in case you are hot, that should cool you off. All right, Cheryl, cool. So you're all about summer ween then. And you're definitely an excellent flipper. So I have some things in mind. I have everything for my projects and I know exactly what I'm going to do. So I hope I can execute everything properly. So yeah, I don't know why I'm starting with this the sea glass in the middle, but I just am. I also have a couple colors of paint here, and I also have some stamps and I have some transfers. So we're just going to kind of do what strikes us. So we are going to also do a Christmas in July. And that video, that challenge is going to take place on July 20th, I believe. Yeah, that's the date for that one. So I am taking my chances tonight painting here. I've got a white shirt on, so that might not be smart, but I always have to have a white shirt every summer, but you know, they don't last long, at least not for me. Okay, so far so good. I'm not really seeing like a whole lot of bleed through, but I know it's going to happen. I can tell. But you know what? It's just going to be something that you sit on a counter and maybe in a bathroom and put, you know, some bottles in or something. So we're not going for perfection here. We're going for pretty, and we're definitely going to make it pretty. All right. You can't miss with the summer IOD collection. Oh, such gorgeous flowers. In the Saint Germain And I have the Seraphitan botanical one out because I thought the size of these would be just perfect for the size of this little box. All right. So I'm just gonna start on the side here. I might have to use the hair dryer to dry a little bit. So this has a little bit of a raised side. So I'm going to do something with that that's a little bit different. They sure are, Cheryl. I mean, every IOD release, it's like I always say, oh, this is my favorite, but they always just get better and better. So this is just kind of a good base coat we're putting on. And this is just a quick, easy project. Do you see a lot of these when you're thrifting sewing machine boxes? I usually see them at flea markets. And I recently was invited to go to a home where the daughters were clearing out the home and their parents. And oh, so many treasures. So so I got a bunch of sewing machine boxes, which are drawers, which I just love these. And so I touched the wet paint. And I got some other things that you will see upcoming in our thrift flip challenge. I'm going to go ahead and paint all this hardware. We'll probably do some gilding wax on it later, but for now, it's just getting painted. And we'll just see what happens. I'm going to flip this. I think I'm going to dry a little bit and then flip it into the other side. And we're probably going to put more paint on this. I don't think one coat's going to do it. But I'm a fast painter. So I'm going to dry for a second here. I'm not going to worry about the inside yet, but okay, good enough for the moment. I just want to get it dry enough so I can kind of flip it. I don't know that it's entirely dry there, but I'm just going to take my chances. And then while we're waiting for that to dry, I think we're going to mix up some paint. So I was just, being lazy and just grabbing what I had. And the other color, I don't even know why I had it, but it's Florida orange. But that's a little too stark of a contrast for this and not as feminine a color as I would like. So I'm going to mix a little bit. Cheryl says I'm going to do a Mackenzie Childs Halloween-inspired thrift flip. Still in my head. We'll see if it works out. I love Mackenzie Childs, and I feel sure that it's going to work out. And that's a great idea. I have some. I don't want to tell yet what I'm doing, but I have some Pinterest-inspired ideas. So let's think sort of, dark academia, kind of elegant kind of decor. Okay, I'm going to set this aside for just a minute. And still don't want to touch anything. It's not completely. Going to wrap my brush up in a wipe. I don't feel like putting it in the water because I don't want it to be that wet. All right. I don't want to move this. Okay. We're going to put little feet on this guy too. That's why I have these out. So we're going to have to paint those too. But I have a cup here and we're just going to go crazy and mix a little paint. This is Dixie Belle's buttercream. Trying to hold it so you can see it. And we're going to put a decent amount of that in there. Sure. Sure we are. My paint's a little thick. That's okay. These were some of the retired labels from Dixie Belle. They came out with a different label, like this label. So I had put all my retired label ones on sale. So I had some of them for a while, so they were a little thicker. But, you know, when your paint gets thick, it's okay. You can use a mister bottle, which I don't have one handy, but that it's not a big deal. And I actually kind of like sometimes having my paint a little thicker because it gives a little more texture. So okay, so I'm just going to mix in some of this Florida orange. There's definitely some orange and tones in there, but I'd rather have something more peachy or apricot. Okay, that's probably more than I wanted, but we'll see what happens. And I'm making a mess. But what else is new? Like I said, taking a chance wearing a white shirt. So my granddaughter was here today, grabbing a wipe here, getting my hands, and we, my new resin obsession. We used resin, and she made gifts for her family. Oh my gosh, so cute! She made the cutest earrings. She made little apple earrings for herself, and she made little heart earrings for her little sister. And she made a little gemstone for her brother and a little t-shirt keychain for her dad for Father's Day. And then she made her mom a necklace. So really, really cute. Okay, if you can see in this cup. Yeah, it was fun. It was a fun day. I'll have to share some of the pictures on Facebook because I took pictures. Us in our little gloves and masks. I don't always wear a mask or gloves sometimes when I'm, working with it, but I definitely wanted to make sure she was protected. And usually I haven't had any issues as far as it being smelly with the resin, the UV resin, but I got some opaque additive and it was a little smelly. So I'm kind of glad we had stuff on. Oh, I didn't even see this blob of paint on the table here. This is why I have multiple layers of drop cloths here and plastic tablecloth and all that stuff. Okay, so I really like this. It looks like kind of an orange sherbet color. Not exactly sure where I'm going to put it yet, but I think we're going to probably put it in that little inset. So I used my smaller brush, and now I kind of want that one. So I have some water over here, so I'm just going to wash it out a little bit. Oh, doing everything live. You see the good, the bad, and the ugly, all the messes, all the things you wouldn't do if you weren't, limited to your space, your time, and all that stuff. Okay. So I'm going to give this another little blast with the hair dryer because I want to paint this little section in front. So hang tight a second. Okay, so I wanted to do the other side so I can kind of lay it here. So, so now you can see in the light that little inset. So I'm going to use that smaller brush and this paint that we mixed up that looks like a creamsicle, and do that. So these two colors together sort of do look like sherbet. Is it sherbet or sherbet? I think it's spelled sherbet. I don't know. But I think everybody says sherbet. At least I do. So, just to let you guys know, so I'm monetized on Facebook and on YouTube now. So any commenting and any sharing that you do, any likes, all that stuff helps the algorithm. It just tells them to, show it to more people, and that's what grows the channel. So I greatly appreciate it. So again, if you haven't subscribed to the Tuesday Talk channel, check that out. And I really, really hope to go live on it very soon. And also the Flippin' Bunch. So we go live on Wednesday nights. So tomorrow night, our guest is going to be Jen Sean, and she's from Copper Cactus DIY. She's a furniture flipper, and she's also an author. And we're going to talk about her creative journey, and also she's very skilled in faux finishes. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well, because I love faux finishes myself. I love to do a good wood grain. I like to do kind of like fantasy wood grains, like colors that you would never really picture being a wood grain. So, yeah, Cheryl, I agree. I think it's going to be a good one. Jen is, I just love her. I've known her, I've been, I guess, almost as long as I've had my channel, maybe. When I first got started, well, after a while, like I really wanted my channel to start doing something. And this lady named Rochelle from Australia, she asked me if I was interested in collaborating with some other YouTubers. And of course, I said yes. And that's how I met Jen and a whole bunch of other YouTubers. Amy, Gerard from Flip It Furniture, and oh my gosh, so many of them. Okay, so I kind of like that color. And I keep going back to this little brush. This brush is so cute. This is a zebra, and it's a little hand painting brush. I used it on that octopus trunk, and I didn't draw it first, and I just started painting. And believe me, I liked this. It gave me a lot of control because it was like not a long brush, so it was, I guess, closer to my hand, and I guess closer to my head, my thoughts. So it was easier to execute. So I'm going to take this little brush and I'm going to put it back in the sea glass color. And now I'm just going to kind of go around here, get a little more definition. And then we'll dry this, and I have a little something I want to do on the orange sherbet area. So also the Flip and Bunch started a channel. So we all did this, we're all furniture flippers in the Flip and Bunch, and not so much thrift flips, but we all enjoy doing them. And we have found that when we did the talk show and thrift flips and other things that weren't in our niche or niche, however you say it, that we didn't do as well. So there, that algorithm again, doesn't YouTube doesn't show it to as many people then. So that's why we started that channel. So we were free to do whatever we wanted on it. So that's why we just, looking for both of them to do well and our original channels all to continue to thrive. So that was the reasoning behind it. I am eventually going to paint the bottom on this one too. I think these colors might look weird together right now, but I think once those transfers are on here and we add a little more stuff, I think it's going to be really pretty. It's definitely going to be very feminine. So I'm hoping for some more good weather because I'm painting the foundation of our house, and I still have the outdoor makeover to come along. Still working on that because I'm still working on some of the projects. But I think that'll be a fun one. Okay, I might as well do these sides while I'm at it. I don't think I flipped up this handle. And when the time comes, I'm going to have to find my gold gilding wax. It's around here somewhere as I begin to peer around. I've been doing so much little stuff, jewelry and all kinds of little things. So working on a Made by Marley project too. And I'm incorporating that with my resin. The pool people haven't called yet. They said either the week of the 15th or the 22nd. So I'm going to wait until the end of this week and give them a call and see if they have a more firm date, because we have to then get the electrician here to the day after or so that the pump, we don't have any algae and all that fun stuff. But yeah, everything's progressing. All the projects that I wanted to get done. I'm kind of working on my basement because, the kids will use the bathroom down there, and well, it's not really a bathroom. It's just a laundry area and toilet. So I want it to look a little more pleasing to the eye. And the kids won't have to run through the house with wet bathing suits and towels. So, okay. I go through the baby wipes, that's for sure. Wrapping this up again. And I'm going to hit this with the dryer again. Is the screen going black for you guys? Is it spinning? 'Cause that's what it looks like to me. I can see my camera is still going. There we go. We're back. I don't know what that was. An internet glitch or something. So I think this area in here, I want to do a little stamp, and I've chosen to use from this velveteen stamp set. And I picked some of the smaller ones out. Okay, good. Did it black out at all for you? I know it's back for me, but I don't know whether, because that happened before last week, and like everybody said they didn't see anything. So let's see. Oh, and there's Grizz shaking his collar. I just love these damask designs. Huh, interesting. Okay, so these barely fit, but I don't think it really matters. I kind of like that one, maybe in the middle. And I like these. Whether I want to flip that or... I think I'll try to do something like that and then maybe flip it up. We'll see. So I am going to guesstimate. We'll use something here. We'll say this is to the end of the sander. Okay, so I'm glad I did that. Do you guys do stuff like that? Like if you can't find something, you just use whatever's handy. Put the lid on that. Okay, so what do you think? Viewer vote. I have white ink here. And then I also have the green, the spring green or green grass, I think it's called. So you do that too. What do you think? Should I use the green? Maybe that would tie it together a little more. So I think it's kind of like twirly, so I think it should be all the same color. So what do you think? Go with the green or go with the white? Green or white? You're going to leave me to my own devices here soon. I think I'm going to do the green. Just because of the other color, I think that's what we're going to go with. So, so now I've taken this off, but at least I have okay, Cheryl, you agree with me. So, setting this down here, I think you guys can see that. I don't know when the last time I inked it with this green is, but we'll take a chance. I think it'll be nice and just kind of not over the top green. Okay, now I'm trying to think which way do I want it. Okay, that's about that far. I have to commit. I don't really know what to do with the inside of it yet, whether just paint it and leave it or probably do that. Oh, I like that. I'm so glad that green was the choice. Okay. I have another baby wipe. I'm going to wipe that stamp off. Put it back on. I'm trying to be a better stamp mom these days. Okay, so I like this one too, but it has that flower basket in the inside. I think this is more twally. I love the word twall. And then to make it twally, I don't know. So I'm going to kind of put this close to here, and I'm going to put the tip of it up there because I think that will leave me enough room then to play around with this one. So that's my plan. And like I said, I don't think I want to mix you know, the colors, because I think it's more of a twirl look all in one color. Okay, so we're going to the top. I can't talk and stamp at the same time, apparently. Okay, big reveal. Oh boy. Okay, that's okay. You know, I'm not worried about that because it's like didn't stamp really good there. I'm definitely not going to take the chance of putting it down again. Hey Dar. Um, because I think it looks better to make it distressed. It's an old looking, it's an old piece anyway. So we're just going to go with that. Okay, so now I'm going to flip it and do the same thing. And some of it'll go off the edge, and that's okay. I fell in love with this stamp set when it came out. This was the spring release. Okay, oh, I love it. Okay, so now let's do this side. You guys like twirl? Is it just me? I love it. Anything twirl. Okay. So again, we're going to the top with this one. And those leaves almost touched on the other side. So I think we're in a good place. I love it. Okay, and point down this time. So do you guys like to mix paint for different colors? I'm not a big paint mixer, but and again, I always qualify that and say, you know, because of being a Dixie Belle retailer and there's like 80 colors, you know, you don't really need to mix. They're usually always there. But I just, you know, sometimes it's fun to do that because I mean, that does kind of look like Dixie Belle's apricot color, but I still like it. It's just different. Okay, putting that back on my stamp page. And you know, if they don't stick, then just using that baby wipe, that will make it sticky again and it'll just stick right on there. So then you can be a better stamp person. You hate mixing paint, Dar? It's a small amount in a little cup. I wouldn't like doing a whole lot because you know, then you'd have to make sure that you had enough for the whole job. So this is what we've got so far. And I already like it like that, but I think it needs, I did the sides again. I'm going to put another coat of paint over here on this side and might as well get another brush dirty and that way get the job done quicker. It's a bigger brush. Another thing too, a lot of people use like mist tints from the hardware store and stuff. I'm spoiled because I have all that paint just at my fingertips. So that's why I don't, you know, do it. And I really do love the Dixie Belle paint. So I don't really have a reason to do it. I'm going to put another coat on the inside because it just, well, it's 7:40. Maybe I'll finish that off camera. What I should probably do is paint those little feet though, but maybe we'll paint the feet in that color. Okay, gonna do a little drying here a second. The good thing is this stuff dries super fast. The weather, I guess, and the old wood and it being a little thicker, so it's drying super fast. So talk amongst yourselves. I missed a little in the front, but we'll come back to that. So I presume most of you know that you really have to be your paint just has to be so dry when you're using transfers. I'm going to switch up here a second because I missed you. I'm just going to spread a paper towel out so I can lay that down. My drop cloth gets really yucky after a while, so I just want to make sure that especially after doing all that I want it to not, get messed up. It's shiny. I just want to make sure I don't mess it up. So I'm going to hit it one more time. Sometimes I find that ink does give a little shiny appearance. I don't know whether you can see that or not, but I don't know. What do you think? Do you think that looks okay? Now that I look at it here, it's like, these are closer together than they are. I might fill that in a little. It looks good when I'm looking at it this way, and then when I held it up, it's like, I don't know whether I like that. But we're going to keep going. We're just going to keep going. So I guess I can blot it. So nothing came off. So, all right, switching camera again. So like I said, I blotted it and nothing came off. But I want this here because I'm going to use my transfers. I'm just making sure that my paint is super duper dry. Because you know what happens if your paint isn't dry, then you pull up your paint. So let's pick some pretty flowers. Let's also hope my scissors are close by. Okay, I'm just going to pull a sheet out because these are all going to be gorgeous. Just going to start with these. Just picking a few sheets. Dara already hit her up and she said yes. I'm like, spoiler alert. I gotta find my scissors. They should be around here. All right. I have my little thing, which is unusual. I usually am missing that. All right, hang on a second. I've got to find scissors. So, as I say, talk amongst yourselves. Scissors. Here and there. I was going to say, I had them earlier. Can you put the ad up now? Sure, go for it. Absolutely. And you just got those transfers. Aren't they just so pretty? Let's see. Let me use some of these smaller ones because it's not real tall. I mean, I'm just randomly choosing because they're all gorgeous. So it's not gonna, I don't think you can mess things up at this point. Little daisies. I want something kind of full in between. That's kind of tall, but let me see what else we've got. Yes, Dar, if you want to present, you can. We'll put that in the middle. Maybe we need a little more purple. I don't know. We're just going to go for it. So I'll start in the middle. Again, leave these here so I know what I'm doing. And even if I change my mind, it isn't that critical, right? and we're going for approximate middle here. And of course, this is shaking the entire table. I know, Dar, there is a lot. I always wait to promote our Flippin' Bunch stuff until after I'm done with Tuesday Talk. So I figure you guys are really good at doing it earlier, so figure then it just kind of reinforces it. All right, let's see how we doing. No, Grizz. I hear my dog, like, he's going to start barking. These normally come off so fast. I don't know whether it's just kind of like all the texture in the paint because of it being so thick. But it's coming off, and that's a good thing. So it's not peeling the paint up. So we're happy about that. All right, first one. All right, I'm going to do the end ones next, and then do those other ones. Again, we're kind of losing the bottom of the little bush here, but that's okay. I love sewing machine drawers. I have, I don't know whether I've used this one or not, but in my bathroom, but I need to do another one of these for my bathroom. I think I might do a smaller one for my toothbrush and stuff, put a glass in there and put our toothbrushes. Because I have one on the back of our toilet tank and it has like, Q-tips and all that stuff, the bath spray now that pulled some paint off. So, and I'm not surprised. That's where I did some of the patching. with the spackling. You never find them. I don't know why we see a lot of them here, usually. And it just like, you would think that they would go, like the sewing machines would go like crazy. I guess you can't see what I'm doing. But like, I bought a whole sewing machine for $25. And it had the machine in it. It had all the drawers. All the drawers were full of vintage sewing accessories, like buttons and all kinds of stuff like that. And, it had the treadle and all of that. So I repainted it, kind of made it like a vanity. And some people in West Virginia bought it. They also bought something else too. They bought a couple of my pieces. Well, I'm gonna work my way around, but this side is the one with most of the transfers. So if you're like me, though, I like to watch watch people do that. Well, this lady offered it to me, and I always tell people, and I sound cheap when I say it, but it's the truth. And if you flip furniture, you understand you can't pay a lot for it, because till you put transfers and molds and do all this stuff that you want to do to it, sometimes buying new feet for it, or sometimes you have to repair stuff and you need supplies for that. You can't pay a lot for the furniture unless you can get a lot for your furniture. And there's people on Etsy that can sell furniture pieces for $2,000 and $3,000, but that's not me. I can't. So mine go for a couple hundred. So I always price my things so that to build in, like if I have to put it on sale, if I've been sitting on it for a while. Almost done with this one. Still intact over here. Furniture flipping teacher. Yes, I have watched her. She has done something different lately. I haven't kept up, but I know, did she open a shop or something, I think? But man, she's been successful all along. She paid her college loan, her student loan off through furniture flipping. That was how she got started. That was her goal. And every video, she would tell people, what her, what her progress was on her loan. And then, finally that she had paid it off. So that was pretty exciting. She was kind of like a content creator for Dixie Belle for a while, and then other brands also, got her. So, yes, with boyfriend, but they broke up and moved to a smaller warehouse. Okay, I thought they broke up. Yeah, but I mean, since that though, didn't they do something else? So they just moved to the warehouse. You didn't open a shop. I saw briefly something, but I didn't finish watching it. Okay, so sometimes when these go over the edge, I just let them go. You can paint all over them. Okay, so she's moving now. All right, so we're getting there. I'm going to put these in here, and I might decide I need a little bit more than that, but we're, just going to keep going, and we're going to go with this. I like that I can fit this whole flower on here. And I'm starting them down at the bottom because you don't want them just kind of floating up in space. This is going to be a pretty one, whichever side it's sitting on. I think like this will look cute, like to display old books in, or maybe, a tea set or something like that, and have some like a lace napkin or something lining it. Do you guys watch Erin from the Provincial Farmhouse? She does all kinds of pretty stuff like that. And also Ginger Chick Rehab, she does a lot of like sewing machine drawers and stuff like that. You do too, Cheryl. You have a lot of great ideas. And you can definitely overlap these transfers. You guys know that, but in case anybody comes along and watches and doesn't know that, now we know that. Oh, my thing is telling me my antivirus protection is run out. I never use it. I dropped my stick. There it is. Okay. So even when I start, well, you do a great job. Even when I start doing my lives on the new channel, I'm still going to stream on Facebook as well. Now, Facebook videos only stay for, I think, 60 days or 30 days. I'm not sure. The lives. But I can always download them or do shorts on them and that kind of stuff on the content, and then they'll stay. But the lives do not. Now on YouTube, they will stay, but we're also trying to load the Flippin' Bunch and Tuesday Talk channels with some of the older videos, just so there's some content on there until we get live. So you guys will get tired of hearing us beg, but till we reach that, we'll be begging. Okay, so what do you think? So now it looks frozen. Now, okay, there we go. Oh, I love it. When I look at it in the camera, that's when I really, see it. So we've got that side, and we've got that side. I want to bring around some of the transfers around the edges and on this end. So let's find some more. Thank you. Let's see. There's this, and that kind of has that little peachy color in there, and I think we'll incorporate that. And there's some other pieces that might be good for going around the corners. That one's tall, but that one won't work. Oh, I thought I had 2 pages there. The back of the transfer sheet got a little wet, and I thought I was seeing something else through it. Hope that doesn't affect anything. Okay, so we'll put this big one on the end here. So this will be interesting. Let's try to get it so you guys can see it. So that's where I'm positioning it. Gretchen, you're here. You need so much help with sewing, though, so you look forward to rewatching what you missed. Well, it's just a sewing drawer. I told everybody I kind of did say on the thumbnail, which I'm not even sure if I put the thumbnail up, that it was misleading because it looked like the sewing machine, but we're just using the sewing machine drawer, like the old-fashioned kind. And I don't know whether you can find them in your area or not when you flip or when you're thrifting, but we usually find them here. So anyway, I typically will pay $5, not anymore for one. So Gretchen, I know we'll synchronize later, but when we go to DC, the Sunday is the day that I'll be able to do something because he's going to be in meetings like pretty much all day that day. So, like I said, we'll figure that out. This is kind of hard. I'm trying to do it so that you can see it. And it's weird anyway, even if it wasn't, even if I wasn't trying to let you see it, it's an awkward angle because it's on the long end. All right, so I'm going to try to start peeling it off here. I think this color is going to really complement what we have going on in the front of it. I'd considered also doing a mold and putting it in that front section, even on top of the damask, but I think we'll leave it like that. I knew this would kind of be just a general plan and just we'd make up decisions as we go. Yeah, so we're leaving June 28th, and that's, I don't know what date that is. I mean, what day of the week that is. I think it's a Saturday. That's my birthday, the day we're leaving. And then, so is it the Saturday? I'll have to look. I can't look right now because my phone's in use. But if you can see what date the 28th is, then we can go from there. I think it might be a Friday. Almost there, guys. Sorry, I know you can't really see, but I don't know how else to do it. I need to see it in order to make sure I'm getting the transfer on there, so it'll be a surprise. And the corner's giving me a hard time for some reason. I'm going to put it on my lap. 28th is a Saturday, so you're available at, yeah, 6:29. I will confirm. And like I said, now, if you want to, you can send me a message on Facebook and send me your number, and then we can go from there and text. Might be easier because that way I'll confirm with Tom what for sure that's the day that he's going to be in meetings, but I'm pretty sure it is. Okay, I'm missing some of this, and I'm not going to keep pushing it because I think we'll pull up some paint because that was an area that I repaired. Okay, so after all that did turn out pretty, and I think it really does complement what's going on the front. But I still want to put a little bit around here. And I might have trouble here because this is where I repaired. So I'll try to make it a short one. Okay, sounds good, Gretchen. And were you able to open that PowerPoint that we sent you from the Flippin' Bunch? Taking a drink. Okay, so I'm looking for a little short, skinny one, so that might work. Let me keep looking a little bit. Kind of like that one because it brings in a little bit of that color too, as well as the yellow, so it sort of marries them together. Like I said, you can't go wrong, really, with these beautiful flowers. I'm just looking through the book a little bit. Oh, here's some nice short ones. There's a purple one, but it's wider. I want sort of a skinny one. Okay, good. That one looked like honeysuckle. Okay, we're going to go with what we've got here. So how do I lose scissors from one moment to the next? I mean, seriously, I did just have them, right? Come on, they're yellow handles. It's like, where's Waldo? If you see them, you can yell. Oh, they're right under my napkin. Okay. All right, so we're going to use this one. Okay, so I think if we put this one about right here, that'll be perfect. I'm not going to bother cutting the bottom off. I'm just going to kind of position it and then let it go where it may. And this is actually kind of coming up over the side. I didn't mean to do that. Story of your life. You lose everything. Isn't it crazy how it can be just like right in front of your face, but yet it's invisible? Well, at least that's in my life. Now, these things, I'm shocked that I keep finding tonight because normally I'm losing those. And lots of, YouTubers say to paint the end of it. Well, I never remember to do that. Okay, so this is the corner I repaired. So I'm having to be a little gentle with it. So Gretchen, when are you getting that channel going? You could participate in our thrift flips, our summer ween. Anybody else that's watching, if you have a YouTube channel, we'd love for you to participate. It's going to be the first playlist on the new channel. Okay, I'm going to try to start peeling this. I should never say I'm going to try to do something. I'm going to do it. I always think, I heard a long time ago when someone says that you're going to try to do something. If you got on a plane and the pilot said, I'm going to try to get you to your destination, you wouldn't feel very confident. So just, you're going to do it. Although not everybody always agrees with everything, you know how that is. I had the internet trolls commenting on my videos yesterday. I always like overlapping a little bit, but I'm pulling up paint there because that's where I did that repair. So I'm gonna just take my losses there and keep going because, like I said, it's an older piece. It does look distressed. So I think those things actually bring charm to the piece, but we also don't want to push our luck because then we have to repair it, which I might have to do, but I think we can get it to stay down. Boy, I don't know yet, but I think I've gotten a green light that I can stop accounting and start something more creative. I can start getting my pension in August. That is so awesome. That is awesome news. Okay, I like the way that went around the corner there. So we're going to do this other corner here, and then we'll see what we have to do on the other end. Okay, so I'm going to really just overlap a whole bunch here. We'll save this super tall flower for another project. You know what? I don't know whether I do want to use all that. Should I use this big piece? What do you think? Or, I don't blame you, Gretchen. I know how I felt whenever, I was going to sort of semi-retire, and I seem to be really pouring myself a whole lot more into the whole YouTube and social media thing. And custom orders. I'm doing a lot of custom orders too. So I'm still working. So what do you think? I think maybe this one. I think the other one might have been a little too much for that. Let's do this one. Doing it without your input, guys. Right on that corner. So I was working with Gilded Transfer last night. Have you guys used those yet? The IOD Gilded Transfers? If you're working on a slick surface, they come off super easy. You still have to take your time with them. At least I found the project I was working on, I had to really take my time, but it was well worth it. Beautiful. You don't get to see it yet. Oh, you guys, I appreciate your chat. And sometimes like this kind of stuff can be a little boring. Like still a quick and easy craft, but just watching somebody put a transfer on. Although I enjoy doing that. Not yet. Sure. What, Cheryl? Like being bored. Okay. So there's what the corner's looking like. You know what? I'm going to switch the camera a second. And show you. So we've got this long side. And then that's the end. And then we come around to the damask. So now we need to do this end. And we're getting to the home stretch. So maybe, sorry for being indecisive, but just trying to find just the right thing for it and the right size too, because some of them are too big and it's kind of silly to use a big transfer for an area when you're going to waste some of it. Okay, cool. Just sent. I have a piece in mind for transfers, but it needs work. Okay. I think this is actually two separate ones, which might be to my advantage. I almost lost those scissors again. Alrighty, so we have these two different pieces. I'm gonna wrap them around there, and I will change the camera again. So that one is kind of long, but it'll work. Okay, put this up here. You know what I might do is do paint that area around that little handle for drawer pull, because the other inset is painted like that. So I think I might do that. And I think I'm going to paint those feet. Normally I'm not a color block person, but there's so much color on this, I don't think it matters. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see that. Oh, that's so pretty. I don't know whether you can see that or not, but it's super delicate. Okay, one more transfer. And then we're going to do a little bit more painting on here. Now there's one other thing I'm considering, which I'll show you guys. It might be too big, but I'm wondering about this area in here, up above and below. Do we think that that's too plain, or maybe not? I don't know. But there's a like swag kind of transfer that maybe we can put there. It might be a little much. I don't know whether jar is still here or not, but you know, when you're a maximalist, it's never too much, right? So you might want to weigh in on that if you're still here. Oh my gosh, it's 8:18. Guys, why didn't you tell me? I didn't realize we were going so long. I'm going to have to wrap this up because usually an hour is a long time to be on. I appreciate you hanging with me though. That's a long video. Okay, so I think that's what we'll do. You know, we'll hurry up and paint the feet, and then any other adjustments that I make to it, I will do and then show you on social media, because I didn't realize my video was going so long. You know, time flies when you're having fun, I guess. Okay, so real quick, if this hasn't dried up, which it still seems to be okay, and I still have this brush. Oh, it has green on it, but we'll okay. So real quick, I'm gonna do these feet. I'm not sure what the best method is for these little feet to paint them. I do have some glue here, but I don't know that we're going to see them glued on tonight, but just wanted to give you the idea. I might not paint all of them here. But I think that's going to be, I think it's going to be cute on there with that. Okay, I'm just going to set that there. And again, I'll finish that because I didn't realize I had you guys so long. I don't think there's going to be any opportunity for any twirl on here. I am going over that handle, but I'm going to do gilding wax on it. So that will disappear. Dar's probably in her hot tub by now. Okay, like I said, I'm going to cover this with gilding wax. And then I might even do some dark wax on this too. So stay tuned for the results. I'm going to put the camera up and show you what I've got so far. Oh, you're thinking about it. You're still here. Okay. Well, I'm going to put the camera up here and we'll show you what we've got again. So here's the front, around to the side. Who knows? I may decide to throw a few more transfers on there, but I really like the way that looks. And then we're going to have the little feet in that color, which I think, let me turn it around this way. You might be able to appreciate it a little bit more when you see it with that color. What do you think? And then again, you know, you have that color there too. I think this is going to be cute no matter what way it's turned. And I think some dark wax will complement it. So as always, I very much appreciate you guys joining tonight. And if anybody came on before I begged if you'll go to YouTube and well, most of you are, I think everybody's on YouTube, but if anybody watches it on Facebook, if you go over to YouTube, go to the Tuesday Talk channel, and while you're at it, the Flip and Bunch channel, and subscribe to both of those channels so we can get all of our subscribers so we can go live on those channels. And I appreciate you being here. And if you're going to be with us tomorrow night on the Flip and Bunch, then we'll see you there. So have a wonderful evening, and I love you guys. Night.